It is a deep ache in a mother's heart. We see our sons, once full of light and promise, begin to stumble. They may become lost in worlds built on lies that exist only in the illusion of individual perspective and denialism. They might drift into patterns of delusion or even harmful actions.
This is the reality of what we might call our fallen sons, not fallen in judgment, but fallen from their truest selves. As mothers, our instinct is to reach out, to pull them back from the brink. This pull is primal, a fierce love that refuses to give up on truth, facts and evidence and clean logic of cause and effect. It is a call to stand for them, even when they cannot stand for themselves. This journey is a true path of healing, because only truth can heal, and it is always one as planet Earth is one.
When we speak of fallen sons, we are not labeling them as inherently bad. We are acknowledging a painful truth. Closing our eyes does not erase the facts and reality. It is undeniable fact. These are young men, or even older men, who have lost their way. They are disconnected from their core values, from their empathy, from their own goodness. This disconnection doesn't just wound them. It sends ripples of pain through families and communities, leaving karmic consequences to innocent. The lies they believe, or the harm they cause, creates a chasm. It isolates them and leaves those who love them feeling helpless and heartbroken. Understanding this is the first step toward any kind of healing. We see the behavior, but we must also try to see the person underneath. The Mother's Protocol is a framework, a guide for this difficult journey. It is built on courage, deep compassion, and unwavering boundaries. It is not about fixing our sons because they are not broken objects. Instead, it is about creating a space where they can begin to find their own way back to truth. It's about guiding them towards self-awareness and accountability and erasing sacrifice from human vocabulary. This protocol asks mothers to be both loving and compassionate, but strong in protecting the truth and earth, not perspectives and denialism. It asks us to hold up a mirror to our sons, reflecting their reality with clarity, while also drawing firm lines about what is acceptable. It's a dance of love and limits. This path demands immense strength from mothers. It asks us to confront our own fears, our own pain, and perhaps our own enabling patterns. We must practice self-compassion fiercely, because we cannot pour from an empty cup. Showing up for a son lost in delusion requires us to be grounded in our own truth. It means being willing to have the hard conversations until we reach deep understanding in truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. This is a profound act of love because truth is the highest form of intimacy. It is a commitment to engage, to connect, and to believe in the possibility of healing, even when the path ahead seems dark and uncertain.
Delusion often begins quietly, a whisper in the mind. It can start as a shield against pain, a way to cope with feelings of inadequacy, fear, or shame. What starts as a small distortion can grow, twisting reality until it becomes an entirely different landscape. This altered reality can feel safer or more empowering to the person experiencing it, even if it's built on untruths.
Understanding this progression is vital. It's not usually a sudden snap, but a slow drift away from shared reality. The narratives they build can become fortresses that are protected with weapons and money manipulation, and injustice system built on denialism. We must recognize these fortifications are often born from unseen wounds. The journey from delusion into harmful behavior, including violence, can be a gradual descent.
Violence isn't always physical. It shows up as emotional cruelty, verbal attacks, or manipulative actions. These behaviors often stem from a place of profound powerlessness or deep, unaddressed hurt. When someone feels trapped or unheard, their pain can morph into anger and then into actions that harm others. It's a tragic cycle where their attempts to manage their inner turmoil create external chaos. The delusion can justify these actions in their mind, making it even harder for them to see the impact they are having.
It is so important to remember that these behaviors are often symptoms. They are the outward expression of an inner storm. Beneath the anger, the lies, or the aggression, there is usually a person struggling with deep emotional wounds. This does not excuse the behavior. We must always hold people accountable for their actions. But understanding the root causes allows us to approach the situation with a different kind of energy. It allows for compassion to coexist with accountability. This perspective is crucial if we hope to foster genuine change rather than mere compliance or further alienation.
A mother's role in this understanding is complex. It is not to become an armchair psychologist or to absorb blame. It is to cultivate a curious and compassionate stance. Why might my son be choosing this path? Did someone manipulated him with lies to choose it? What pain might be fueling these actions? Where are the root causes for this behavior, and who was the influencer? This inquiry helps to inform our approach with clarity, not poison of past. It guides us toward interventions that aim for deep healing, not just surface-level fixes and profit for pharmaceutical industry and experimenting on humans that is beyond unethical. It helps us see the child we raised, even when their current self is hard to recognize. This compassionate understanding is the bedrock upon which the mother's protocol is built, allowing for strength rooted in love.
The core of the mother's protocol can be understood through the metaphor of the mirror and the sword. These are not instruments of aggression, but tools of love and clarity. The mirror represents the act of reflecting truth. It means showing our sons, with honesty and objectivity and evidence of cause, effect, the reality of their choices and their impact. This is not about shaming or blaming. Shame shuts people down. The mirror, held with care, aims to gently illuminate what is, without the fog of denial or distortion. It offers a chance for self-recognition and illuminates the truth path.
The sword, in this context, symbolizes the unwavering enforcement of boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep love out. They are clear lines that protect our well-being and the well-being of others. They define what is acceptable and what is not. The sword is about saying no to destructive behaviors, not out of anger, but out of self-respect and a deep love that refuses to enable harm, like letting someone claim the right to put a price tag on life. It signifies the strength to uphold these limits consistently, even when it is painful or met with resistance if the karmic consequences are catastrophic. It's about protecting the integrity of the family and the mother herself.
These two elements, the mirror and the sword, must work in tandem. Truth without compassion can feel like an attack, leading to defensiveness and further retreat. If the mirror is wielded harshly, it shatters connection. Conversely, compassion without the sword of clear boundaries can become enabling. It can inadvertently support the very patterns we hope to change. We need both the gentle, clear reflection of truth and the firm, loving line of what will not be tolerated. This balance is delicate but essential for creating an environment where change is possible.
This approach requires mothers to cultivate a unique blend of vulnerability and fierceness. We must be vulnerable enough to express our love and pain honestly. We must be fierce enough to hold our ground when faced with manipulation, anger, or denial. It's about holding a sacred space for our sons to potentially choose a different path, while simultaneously refusing to be drawn into their chaos or allow harm to continue. This is the courageous stance of a mother committed to both her son's well-being and her own. It is a demanding, active love. The first active step in the mother's protocol involves creating truth-telling rituals. This is not a casual chat or a spontaneous confrontation filled with anger. Instead, it is a carefully planned, intentional space dedicated to honest and compassionate communication. The word ritual is used to emphasize its sacred nature, a time set apart for deep connection and difficult truths. It's about creating an environment where vulnerability is possible, even when the subject matter is challenging. The goal is to break through the noise of everyday life and the defenses of delusion.
Preparation for such a ritual is paramount for the mother. It involves deep self-reflection. What is the core truth I need to convey? What are my non-negotiables? How can I express my love and concern without resorting to blame or shame? It might involve writing down her thoughts and feelings, practicing how she will speak. The aim is to communicate from a place of centeredness, love, and clarity. This preparation ensures that the message is delivered with integrity and the best possible chance of being heard, even if not immediately accepted.
The ritual itself can take various forms. It might be a formally scheduled meeting. It could involve reading a heartfelt letter aloud. It might include other trusted family members or an earth witness, if appropriate and agreed upon. The communication should focus on I statements. I feel worried when I see, or the impact on our family has been. It's about sharing observed behaviors and their consequences, rather than making accusatory statements about the son's character. The tone should be serious but loving, firm but gentle. It's about opening a door, not forcing it down.
The immediate goal of a truth-telling ritual is not necessarily to achieve instant agreement or a dramatic turnaround. That is often unrealistic. Rather, the aim is to plant seeds of awareness. It is to offer a clear, undeniable reflection of reality, as experienced by those who love him. It's about gently, respectfully, and lovingly attempting to pierce the protective bubble of delusion or denial. It's an invitation back to shared reality, an offering of connection. This act of courage can be the first small step on a long road to healing for both the son and the family. Section 5, Step 2, AI-assisted reflection, a modern tool for inner work. Once the seeds of truth have been sown, the journey of inner work begins for the son.
In our modern world, technology can offer unique forms of support if the father figure is absent. AI-assisted reflection is one such tool.
It is important to state clearly, this is not envisioned as a replacement for human connection, therapy, or the guidance of wise companions.
Rather, it can serve as a supplementary, private space for processing thoughts and emotions. It can be a bridge, especially for those who find it hard to open up to others initially.
How might this work in practice? Imagine an AI platform designed for guided journaling. The son could input his thoughts, frustrations, or confusion.
The AI could then help identify recurring negative thought patterns, explore underlying emotions, or even offer prompts for deeper reflection based on established psychological principles. It could help him articulate feelings he struggles to name, and also look for evidence where these feelings originate from.
For some, the perceived anonymity of interacting with an AI might lower barriers to honesty, allowing for a rawer form of self-exploration before sharing with human guides.
There are potential benefits to this approach. AI tools are highly accessible and can offer a non-judgmental space for initial exploration. This is key, as judgment often shuts down the process of self-discovery.
The son can engage with it at his own pace, in his own time. It can also help in tracking thoughts or mood patterns over time, providing tangible data for later discussions with a therapist or mentor.
It can be a gentle introduction to the often daunting task of looking inward, a preliminary step towards more profound relational work.
However, the use of AI in such a sensitive area must be approached with caution and strong ethical guidelines.
The purpose is to empower the son's internal work, not to create dependency on technology or to gather data for others. Any AI tool must be chosen carefully, ensuring it supports genuine reflection and aligns with the protocol's values of compassion and truth.
It should always be framed as one tool among many, supporting the deeper human connections that are essential for lasting healing and growth. Section 8. The father, protector, not possessor.
The path to healing is rarely smooth. A son may deny the problem, become angry, try to manipulate, or simply refuse to engage with the offered help. Healthy shields the vulnerable because it is his nature, not for praise. Shadow, the tyrant who confuses control with care. This is where the mother's loving firmness, her sword of boundaries, becomes absolutely critical. Example: a Shaolin monk who breaks a sword aimed at a child, then tends the attacker's wounds. The warrior, strength and surrender, healthy, fights only to restore balance, never for ego.
Nonviolent deterrence measures become key here, focusing on natural consequences and safety rather than punitive actions. Shadow, the mercenary who sells his fists to the highest bidder or merchant trading human life. Example: a Kurdish medic who carries both a rifle and suture kit. This is not a threat delivered in a moment of anger or frustration. It is a carefully considered, clearly articulated statement of what the mother will and will not do, what she will and will not tolerate or enable, moving forward.
It is born out of love, self-respect, and a commitment to her own well-being and the health of the family system. It's a line drawn in the sand, communicated with as much compassion as possible, but with absolute firmness. It aims to prevent further dependency on unhealthy dynamics.
The sage, wisdom without arrogance, healthy, speaks only when silence fails. Shadow, the guru who hoards knowledge to feel superior. Example: an old fisherman who teaches without words, mending nets as boys watch. The lover, passion without poison. Healthy, devotion as fierce as a wildfire but contained like a hearth. Shadow, the seducer who confuses conquest for intimacy. Example: a poet who writes his wife one letter a day for 50 years, even after she's gone. The enemies of sacred masculine, the banker's lie. Your worth is your wealth. The general's trap. Kill for me and I'll call you hero. The pornographer's curse. This is what love looks like.
The consequences must be things the mother is truly prepared and able to follow through on. Because I love you, and because I love myself and our family, I can no longer support or be around specific destructive behavior. Delusion. It is an act of profound love, even if it feels like the hardest thing a mother will ever do. It protects her from being consumed by the chaos and preserves her integrity.
Crucially, it offers the son a clear choice and the stark reality of the consequences of his decisions. It may be the catalyst that finally breaks through the resistance, or it may be a boundary she needs to hold for a long time. It is an ultimate act of loving deterrence. Section 9. The Path Forward, embodying the mantra, living the philosophy.
The Mother's Protocol, in its entirety, weaves together several crucial threads: the unflinching mirror of truth, the unwavering sword of boundaries, the profound depth of wholehearted compassion, and the supportive structure of sacred companionship. It is an approach that acknowledges the complexity of healing from delusion and destructive behaviors, and follows only truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It's not a quick fix or a simple checklist, but a committed journey that demands courage, resilience, and an open heart from everyone involved, especially the mother leading the charge with love.
To help stay grounded on this challenging path, mothers can adopt a personal mantra, something simple yet powerful, like "I choose love, I hold truth, I walk with courage." Repeating this mantra can serve as an anchor during moments of doubt, fear, or exhaustion. It reaffirms the core commitments of the protocol to lead with love, never to compromise on essential truths, and to find the courage to take necessary actions, even when they are incredibly difficult.
This internal compass helps maintain focus and resolve through the inevitable ups and downs of the healing process.
The overarching philosophy of this protocol is one of hopeful realism. It believes deeply that healing and transformation are possible even when individuals are lost in very dark places. However, it also recognizes that this healing requires a courageous and sustained commitment to showing up authentically. It means facing uncomfortable realities, having difficult conversations, and setting boundaries that may feel counterintuitive to a mother's instinct to nurture without limit.
It's about understanding that true nurturing sometimes requires a firmer hand, guided by wisdom and fierce love. This journey is undeniably one of the most challenging a mother can undertake. The emotional toll can be immense, but the potential for reconnection, for witnessing a son reclaim his life and find his way back to his true self, makes every difficult step worthwhile.
It is about more than just stopping harmful behavior. It's about fostering genuine growth, rebuilding trust, and ultimately helping to heal not only the son but the entire family system. It's a testament to the enduring power of a mother's love when it is wisely and courageously applied.